My fiancée confessed, "I still in love with my ex, you're just my backup," when I confronted her about the hickey on her neck. I called off the wedding and accepted the position of branch director in another city. That afternoon, I received a call from her best friend who had secretly liked me. I still remember the night everything fell apart. Lily stumbled in after a night out with co-workers, laughing at first, shoes dangling from her fingers. Then I saw it, a clear hickey on her neck. "Lily, what is that?" I asked. She didn't lie. Leaning against the wall, half-closed eyes, she said, "I saw him tonight. I still have feelings for him. I thought I could get over it with you, but I can't. You're safe. You're the backup." My mind stayed strangely calm. 3 years together, engagement set, invitations printed, and she confessed it as if she had rehearsed it. I nodded and packed away everything for the wedding. A week later, after things settled and I had time to think clearly, I told my company I'd accept the branch director position in another city. When Lily's parents called and pleaded, I had already made up my mind. I was done. Lily and I had been together 3 years, enough to build routines and imagine a shared future. Back then, everything felt simple. Weekend trips, cooking together, celebrating small wins. Our 3rd year was meant to be our engagement year. People around us always said we balanced each other well. I was steady, work-focused, calm, dependable. She was emotional, spontaneous, very follow-the-moment type. I handled the bills, the planning, the schedules. She handled the energy, the excitement, the little surprises. It worked until it didn't. There were always small red flags that I pushed aside. She liked partying more than I did. She drank a bit too often. She had a habit of keeping friendly connections with people she used to date. She'd sometimes bring up her ex in random conversations. Nothing dramatic, just subtle comments like, "He used to take me to this place," or "He was really good at picking gifts." I told myself it didn't matter. Everyone has a past. But things slowly shifted. She became glued to her phone. She hid notifications. Sometimes she stepped out to answer calls. When I asked who it was, she brushed it off with something vague like, "Just a friend from work," or "Don't worry about it." I didn't push. I trusted her, or maybe I just really wanted to. The closer the wedding got, the more I noticed the changes. She seemed restless, sometimes distant. She drank more. She'd go out with her colleagues and come back late, smelling like a mix of perfume and cheap bar air. Still, I tried to believe we were just stressed about the wedding. Planning everything wasn't easy. Guest lists, venues, deposits, the whole process was tiring for both of us. Around that time, my company offered me a promotion, branch director in another city. A big step, more responsibilities, better income. I told Lily I was considering it after the wedding. She said she'd think about it, but I could tell her hesitation wasn't about the job. She just didn't want to leave the city where her ex also lived. I noticed, but again, I kept quiet. Looking back, it's crazy how much we ignore when we don't want to lose someone. Our routines seemed perfect. Movie nights, weekend trips, wedding planning. But underneath, something was rotting. There were moments when she would get drunk and start talking about what-if scenarios. What if she had stayed with her ex longer? What if they had tried harder? What if they hadn't broken up too soon? Once, she even compared how he used to text her more consistently. I laughed it off, pretending it didn't bother me. Inside, it did. Still, I didn't imagine it would end the way it did. With her stumbling home with a visible mark on her neck, confessing that I was nothing but a backup. In the weeks leading up to that night, I felt myself mentally preparing for a big move. Not just to another city, but to a new chapter. I didn't know why. I just felt something was coming. Turns out I was right. The next morning I woke up early, made coffee and opened my laptop. I emailed the venue, the florist, the photographer. Cancel, cancel, cancel. The deposit losses stung, but not as much as the humiliation. When Lily finally woke up, she looked terrified. "Can we talk?" she whispered. "There's nothing left to talk about," I said. "I made a mistake," she insisted. "I was drunk. I didn't mean it." "You meant every part of it," I replied. "Maybe you didn't plan to say it out loud, but it was sitting there the whole time." She started to cry, but the tears didn't move me. I wasn't angry. I was simply done. I spent the day packing away the wedding decorations we had bought. I packed away the wedding items in silence. Every object felt like a punch, but I didn't stop. I told my parents that the wedding was off. They were shocked but supportive. Her parents, on the other hand, bombarded me with calls, asking what happened, insisting we talk things through, saying Lily didn't mean any of it. Her mother even came to my apartment. "Please, she was emotional," she pleaded. "You two have built so much together." I shook my head. "You can't build anything on dishonesty." Lily tried reaching out too. Messages like, "Can we fix this? I didn't want to lose you. Please don't throw everything away." But every text she sent only reminded me of the mark on her neck and the sentence that broke everything. I sent her one final message: "Take care of yourself." After that, I blocked her. A week later, I accepted the position as branch director in another city. It was a huge step: new environment, new responsibilities, new beginning. Everyone at work congratulated me. Nobody knew the full story behind my sudden decision except my closest friend, Daniel. When he asked, "Are you sure you're okay?" I just nodded. I'd rather rebuild my life now than stay in a place that's already burned down. The move became a quiet escape from all the judgment and whispers. Our mutual friends had already started talking. Some blamed me for leaving too fast. Some blamed her for cheating. Some claimed they always knew something was off. People loved to pretend they saw everything coming. Packing up the apartment was the hardest part. Every corner held some version of us. I found our old travel receipts, the Polaroids she used to collect, the handwritten note she once left saying she felt lucky to have me. I stared at it for a moment, then threw it into the trash bag. Still, behind the pain, there was something else: relief. For the first time, I wasn't walking on eggshells. I didn't have to wonder who she was texting or whether she meant what she said. The silence felt cold, but honest. By the time I got into the taxi for my new city, I looked out the window and realized the life I thought I wanted had been built on hope, not truth. Moving to the new city felt strange at first. I rented a small apartment close to the branch office and spent the first few weeks buried in work, training new teams, meeting clients, organizing systems. Keeping myself busy helped quiet my mind. Little by little, the weight of the broken engagement faded, replaced by the routine of a new life. 3 months passed. I wasn't healed completely, but I was stable, focused, clear. Then one random afternoon, right after a long meeting, my phone buzzed with a name I didn't expect to see: Mia. Mia was Lily's closest friend, the one who always stayed neutral, never took sides, never got involved in drama. She was the quiet type, observant, calm, polite. I had never imagined she would call me directly. I hesitated for a second, then picked up. "Hey, everything okay?" She exhaled deeply. "I didn't know if I should call you, but I feel like you deserve to know some things." My stomach tightened. "About Lily?" "Yes," she said quietly. "About her and about me too, I guess." I didn't interrupt. I could hear the anxiety in her voice. Mia confessed that Lily had been secretly seeing her ex for months. I tried telling her to stop, but she didn't listen. Mia said Lily would tell her things like, "He's so steady, it scares me." I kept thinking I'd lose him first, so I pushed him away. I think Lily clung to familiarity because she was afraid of getting hurt first. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the ceiling. "So she cheated more than once?" "Yes," Mia whispered, "but that's not the only reason I called." There was a long pause. Then Mia hesitated, voice shaking. "I shouldn't say this, but I used to like you a long time ago. I never acted on it. I didn't want to hurt Lily." I didn't know what to say. Mia had always been supportive, always kind, but the idea that she had feelings for me, that was something I never considered. "I'm not telling you this to make you uncomfortable," she added quickly. I couldn't keep it in anymore." I stayed silent for a moment, processing everything. "Mia," I finally said, "I'm surprised, I mean really surprised." "I know," she said softly. "You don't have to say anything. I just wanted you to hear it from me, not from someone else or through rumors." She paused, then added, "Lily's doing badly, by the way. She broke up with her ex again. Apparently he treated her even worse this time. Her family is stressed, and she keeps talking about how she ruined the best thing she ever had. She's lost." I didn't feel satisfaction, just a quiet, distant empathy, but no regret. Mia spoke again, voice more gentle this time. "I'm not asking for anything. I know you're healing. I just wanted to be honest, for once." Her honesty surprised me more than Lily's confession ever did. This time it wasn't chaos, it wasn't drama. It felt calm, real. I said, "Thank you for telling me, truly. If you ever want to talk," she said, "or if you ever come back to the city, just call." I didn't promise anything, but I didn't shut the door either. I'll keep that in mind. After the call ended, I sat there for a long time feeling something unexpected. Comfort. Not excitement, not pressure, just a quiet reassurance that not everyone around me had been lying, that someone had actually seen my effort, my loyalty, my patience. And maybe, just maybe, the ending I thought was a disaster was really the beginning of something healthier. Not with Mia necessarily, but with someone who would treat me with the same honesty she had just shown. For the first time since the breakup, I didn't feel like I had lost everything. I felt like I had space to start again. Life in the new city settled into a steady rhythm. I threw myself into the director role, and surprisingly, I fit into it faster than I expected. My team respected me. The workload was heavy but manageable, and the sense of building something from the ground up gave me clarity I didn't know I needed. Every once in a while I thought about Lily, with a kind of distant acceptance. What happened had already happened. I didn't stalk her social media. I didn't ask mutual friends for updates. I didn't need to. The chapter was closed. Mia and I stayed in light contact. Nothing intense, just check-ins. A how's work or hope you're doing well. There was no pressure between us, no expectations, and that alone made the conversations feel healthier than anything I'd experienced in years. One day she sent me a short message. "If you're ever back in town, coffee's on me." I simply replied, "We'll see." As months passed, my life slowly rebuilt itself. I bought a new car, something modest but reliable. I started going to the gym again, cooked more often, slept better. My apartment became a place of peace instead of a reminder of loss. I even made a few friends at work, something I hadn't had the energy to do before. Career-wise, I was thriving. Numbers went up, the regional manager praised my leadership, and there were talks about giving me more responsibility the following year. It felt good to know my value didn't depend on someone staying loyal to me. Emotionally, I was steady. Meanwhile, news about Lily eventually reached me through mutual circles, whether I wanted it or not. People love sharing information. Apparently, she had tried getting back with her ex after we broke up, but things fell apart quickly. He wasn't stable, had commitment issues, and treated her the same way he always had. After their breakup, she spiraled, drinking more, fighting with her parents, losing focus at work. The pressure from society didn't help either. Everyone knew she had messed up a good thing, and she knew it too. Her mom even sent me a long email apologizing again, saying Lily had learned her lesson the hard way. I didn't respond, not out of pettiness, just because I didn't see any reason to open a door I'd already closed. Lily's journey wasn't my responsibility anymore. As for Mia, our conversations grew a little warmer over time. She'd update me about small things, a new project at work, a book she liked, a cafe she discovered. I found myself looking forward to her messages more than I expected. One evening she said something that stuck with me. "You didn't lose anything. She never chose you properly." I replied, "Yeah, I'm finally starting to see that." She sent a small voice note, her tone soft but steady. "Good. You deserved better than being an option. Anyone who gets a real chance with you should know how lucky they are." Hearing that hit differently. A year after the breakup, I visited my hometown for a business trip. After the meetings wrapped up, I had one free afternoon. My phone buzzed. "Mia, still offering coffee if you're around." I don't know why, but I smiled. "Me, where?" When I arrived at the cafe, she was already sitting there, wearing a simple outfit, no effort to impress, just being herself. When she saw me, she stood up, a little nervous but smiling. "Hey," she said. "Hey," I replied. The conversation flowed easily. She didn't talk about Lily. I didn't bring it up either, it wasn't necessary. At one point she said quietly, "You look healthier now, happier too." "I feel that way," I admitted. We talked for hours, work, hobbies, family, random stories. By the time we left the cafe, the air between us felt warm, but not rushed, not forced, just right. Before we parted, she said, "If you ever want to meet again, I wouldn't mind." I nodded. Neither would I. As I drove back to my hotel, I realized something important. The wedding that never happened didn't ruin my life. It redirected it. I got a new city, a new career, a new sense of self. Lily got the consequences she chose. And Mia, maybe she was the twist I never expected, but exactly the one I needed. Whatever came next, I finally felt ready for it.